Howdy YouTube, and welcome to this episode of the Gunman. So today we've got another spray gun review. However, today we've got something quite different, quite a bizarre looking spray gun, something that I never knew of or heard about prior to Barry Smith from the UK sending me an email. And he said, mate, I've got this gun that I want to send out to you. I think he said he had like 5 or 6 of them. They look like in brand new condition, so obviously somehow he managed to get a few of them. And he said, mate, I'd like to send one out to you for your Christmas gift from him to me. So I said, mate, send it out. That'd be cool to get. And isn't this one bizarre looking spray gun? So it's made out of plastic and it's lightweight. I don't even know what the OMX stands for, to be honest. It's a HVLP air cap on it. It's got 2 triggers on it, so if you wanted to, the idea was that when you're spraying a bonnet, you could flip it up into the other holding position and hold the gun upright when you're spraying vertical panels like bonnets, roofs, and boot lids. So just to let you guys know, this is old technology. I couldn't tell you exactly how old they are, but it was basically a piece of failed tech. So you're not going to be able to go out and find these. They're going to be pretty rare. And what you see me doing here was, look, it really looked like something that you would use around the home. It felt lightweight. It felt kind of flimsy, if you know what I mean. So what I was actually doing is checking that thinners didn't melt it. Yeah, that's how much faith I had in this thing when I first got it. It felt like it was literally going to fall into a puddle of plastic if I did go and put thinners in it. Obviously that didn't happen, and I was able to take it into the spray booth and actually give it a shot. Now, look, one thing that I sent to Barry, I said, like, because I was like blown away. When I first seen it, I'm like, wow, man, this thing is so bizarre. Like, it is such a weird looking spray gun. And I'm like, what's the draw card? Like, what would have been the selling point to this spray gun? So what he ended up doing was sending me a link to the technical data sheet on this. And then what he told me was, yeah, well, the basic idea, like the thing that set it out aside from anything else on the market, was if you look underneath the air cap, there's a knob under there, and that adjusts the fluid tip size. So you can go from 0.8 of a mil all the way up to 1.8 mil. So the idea is that you can use that one gun for pretty much everything. So you can use it at 0.8 for a spot repair gun. You could use it at, say, 1.4 for your base coats and clear coats, and then you could go all the way up to 1.8 when you need to spray your high build primers. So it's definitely a unique idea, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this was partly the inspiration behind the AccuSpray spray gun and the more recent 3M Performance spray gun. I reckon the basic idea behind them was partly inspired by this spray gun. For those who are unfamiliar with those spray guns I was just talking about, the idea behind them is that you can actually take the air cap off. So you'll swap the air cap out on those 3M spray guns, and then you'll be able to swap the tip size with the plastic air cap. So you'll swap the whole front end of the gun out, but the basic idea is kind of similar, how you can swap the fluid tip size as you wish with the same spray gun. Now, when I was spraying this bumper at the very start, you may have noticed that it was going really slow, and then I remembered, I'm like, oh, hold on, I can actually open the fluid tip size up. So once I did that, I'm like, wow, this thing's actually doing all right. Like, there's been times in the spray booth when I'm using really average spray guns, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to bail on this. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, the job has to come first. So I need to be able to get a good quality finish on this bumper. It doesn't matter that it's just, I don't know, like a Holden Equinox or whatever Suzuki, but it's still somebody's car, so I still need to get a nice amount and a nice coat of paint over that bumper. So yeah, there have actually been times when I've gone into the booth, tried doing a spray gun review, and had to pull the pin because I'm like, man, it's just not delivering a nice enough finish. But look, in this instance here, I was able to continue on with it. As I say, like at the start, I actually had the fluid adjustment size, the fluid tip size knob wound in a little bit too far. So I opened it up to what I would guess is about 1.4 mil, and it was spraying just fine. Like, I mean, it's not the largest fan on it, so it's a bit of a weird thing because it's like got a really long nozzle on it. Like from where your hand is to where the air cap is quite a long distance. So it feels like I'm holding my hand back quite a long way compared to the normal spray guns I'm used to. But look, as you can see, like it's doing all right. Like, so this tech here really never took off, which is why I'm not surprised that I didn't hear about it. A lot of these technologies might be trialed. So this was probably made in the UK, trialed in the UK, and everyone's like, nah, this is just not going to be a thing. But yeah, look, I love these kind of bits of failed tech because quite a lot of the time they had like one or two really good ideas, but they were maybe a little bit too ambitious. So I reckon if they had have made the gun quite similar to a normal spray gun, but just with the fluid tip adjustment, they might have been onto something that really did take off. And you can see me here just having a crack at holding the gun on the other angle, and it's just a really uncoordinated feeling. It's just, it feels like you've never sprayed a car again. That's what it feels like, so uncoordinated. I was talking to my 3M rep about this spray gun just last week actually, and I was just saying how like I can't help but think about the designers, like the people that designed this gun, or the team that was tasked with building this gun. So it probably took them like a year, and I reckon they must have gone home every night thinking about it, like this was their world. And they're like, yeah, we're onto it. And they kind of were. They were onto some good ideas, but then it just flopped, you know? And it's like, you kind of can't help but like feel sorry for them. I don't know, it's kind of funny. On the other hand, you're like laughing at it, a total failure. But like, it's the innovation that I really think is pretty cool. And as I say, like they were onto something, but on the other hand, it was not that great. So yeah, being HVLP, like, and even reading on the tech data sheet, it recommends you spraying at 2.7 bar. So you might have noticed at the start I had to really crank that air pressure up. Well, I actually didn't even have enough air pressure in my booth. I actually had to go out and turn the air pressure up at the regulator, so it uses way more air than any of my other spray guns, because all my other spray guns run at 2 bar, whereas this thing requires 2.7 bar to atomize properly. This is another thing that totally cracks me up. You know, you've got your design team doing all that stuff, and then you can't even hang it on a standard gun rack. Out of all the gun racks I've got, it's not going to fit on any of them. But hey, as you can see here, it's more than capable of delivering a nice wet finish of clear. But yeah, if you know anything else about these spray guns, if you were, I don't know what to say, lucky or unlucky enough to be one of the people that tried them back in the day, whenever they were new. I actually didn't look right into that, but look, I just get a feeling that this was bought out around like early 2000s. Let us know if you know more about these spray guns, if you remember them, if you've tried them before. Share your story with us in the comments down below, and I'm going to end the video by showing you what a normal spray gun sprays like. So this is me spraying with my DeVilbiss GTI Pro TE20 Gunman Edition. Have a look at the size of the fan and just the atomization, the nice evenness of the distribution of the fluid throughout the fan. That's what a spray gun should look and spray like. But yeah, what a weird, bizarre, and oddly wonderful piece of technology, the DeVilbiss OMX spray gun. Big thanks to Barry from the UK for sending it out. Until next time, get out there and paint some shit. I'd like to say a big thanks to everyone for watching, and if you'd like to support the channel further, you're more than welcome to go over and check out some of the merchandise we've got. My personal favourite is those spray suits, so they're a good quality Colad branded spray suit with a Gunman logo on it. There's also hats, drink coolers, hoodies and t-shirts, so be sure to go over and check out the link in the description if you are interested.